What is up, guys? Your guy Tyler here. So this is TC Adventures 1 Belton edition. This is a 4-part series that's going to take place over the course of the summer into the fall. In this first edition, I'm just going to take you guys on a little tour of my hometown here and just show you some different places that have significance to me for different reasons. So without further ado, let's get going. Alright, so I ventured my way over to Markey Park here in Belton. So this area here has significance to me from a sports perspective. This is the park where I hit my only home run in my baseball career. So I'll tell you a little bit about that here later. But about the park here, it's on about 70 acres of property here. There's a walking trail right here behind me, and then off in the distance back there's a little playground over there. And there's 5 baseball fields on the property. Then a little building for the concession stands and the restrooms and everything like that. So let's mosey on over to the field where I hit my only home run. All right, guys, so here I am at Field 4 over here at Markey Park. So I'll tell you kind of a little bit about the day that I hit the home run. So I started off that day on a school field trip to Worlds of Fun. Had lots of fun with my friends and everything, and it was a great time. And so I remember coming into the batter's box, and I kind of did my little pre-at-bat routine that I had always done, literally from day one of my baseball career. And I remember someone yelling from the grandstands, "Hey, Corlew, hit it to right." Right field being just right over my shoulder here. And I remember someone saying that, but I couldn't tell you who it was or anything like that. But I kind of remember thinking, you know, when the person said that, I'm like, I mean, I'll try, I guess, but I'm just going to hit the ball, you know, wherever I can, you know. What I didn't know is that out here in right field, there was a chubbier kid playing out there. I don't know if he was just like new to baseball or anything or whatever, but so I remember getting a fastball on the outer part of the plate, made real good contact. It went right down the right field line. And so I'm running up first base here, and I turn the corner expecting it to at least be a double. So I get to second out there, and I see the third base coach telling the teammate ahead of me to go ahead and run home. And so I'm rounding third. Then all of a sudden I see the third base coach is waving me home, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I kicked it into whatever gear I had left, and I beat the throw from the cutoff man, and yeah, inside the ballpark, walk-off grand slam to end the game by way of the mercy rule. So I'm actually now in the dugout that we were in for that game. So you can tell here it's on the third base side. So yeah, it was probably about the 7th inning, honestly. We had a pretty big lead going already, and so basically anything like that would have ended the game. So it was really awesome to hit my only home run in my career here at this field. So this field, it still means everything to me. It's my favorite field of all time, and it's basically for that reason. So alrighty, so let's head on to the next destination. All right, guys, so this is down home for me. This is Georgetown South Apartments, and they also have some townhouses out here. This is basically the first home that I can remember living in. So let me take you to this little spot right here. So back over here, that was the first home that I can remember living in. This is where I grew up, right here. And turn around here. that's the apartment building that my grandmother lives in. So when my sister and I would go spend the night with her, we just walk right across the grass here to her apartment. So that was our lives. And like all down the row of those townhouses on the other side there, had a lot of friends in the neighborhood, including Mason Teel. His family lived right next door to ours, and we hung out all the time. Did pretty much everything together. First best friend that I can remember ever having. And down over here on this side were a few other kids that we would hang out with all the time. Over here, one of our neighbors used to have a basketball court or a goal set up there, and we played pickup all the time. So here's another little spot here. Doesn't look like much from right now. But like, as you can see, there's a little bit of a elevation change, like a little bit of a dip. I mean, that's kind of what I call it the dip. So we start off on this side right here on our bikes when we were just kids, and we'd see like who can make it up the quickest, or who can make it up at all. Those were some like fun competitions that we used to have over here. So I'll show you the pool where I used to go swimming all the time, especially with the other kids in the neighborhood. So here's the pool, right back there in the background. That's our community pool that we would swim in all the time. Spent a lot of summer days at that pool. And back here is the main like leasing office and everything. But also on the other side, there's a clubhouse where you could rent it out and have get-togethers for like baby showers, anniversaries, birthday parties, stuff like that. So that was my home. There was one place I wanted to show you guys for this video. It's a clubhouse that me and the other boys in the neighborhood started when we were all just little kids. But it's covered up by a thick brush these days. But I can verify it's still there. It's not exactly the same as when we started it. Oh gosh, probably about close to 20 years ago now. But it's still there in some capacity. So yeah, let's go ahead and head on to the next destination on the video tour. Hey there guys, so I made it to Main Street here in Belton, and to me, kind of the way that this is laid out, it gives it that hometown feel to just have one little main street that runs through the heart of the town. This is where basically all of our parades that are held here in the town go through. Homecoming parade, winter warming, community days, everything like that. All the parades are held down Main Street, and that's what makes this town special to me. Because even though there's a population of about 25 to 26,000 residents, and it's ever growing, to me this is a small town. So actually not too far down this way over my shoulder here is a chiropractor office, and I actually personally know the chiropractor there, Dr. Nick Weddle. Very, very good. Takes the time to really get to know his patients, and I've known him for a long time. He and my dad go way back to when they worked at Quick Trip together, and he's great. If you need a chiropractor here in town, I definitely recommend him. He's very good, and he'll take care of you in the way that that works. So that's actually City Hall, just right here behind me. And not this very first building, but that building right there, like the red building, that used to be City Hall here in Belton. And as we drive down the road here, I'll kind of give you some fun factoids about the town and kind of where it started. I guess the first thing would be Belton was established in 1872, as the sign said that we saw earlier in this video. And again, population about 25 to 26,000 people. And actually, where City Hall used to be, that's actually the home of the Belton Historical Society. It's a good not-profit organization here in town that is dedicated to sharing the history of this town and just protecting the history of this town. So I'm gonna hop in the car here and we'll drive down Main Street, and I'll just give you guys some fun facts about the town kind of as we go along. All right, guys, so down here, kind of on the left side here, is the old City Hall Museum, and also the Main Street Theater here in Belton. There's a little pet grooming place down here, and here's Restoration Chiropractic here in Belton. That's where Dr. Nick Weddle is. So again, if you need a good chiropractor that's here local, I would recommend him. He's really good. So again, just a lot of local shops here. There's an Edward Jones office, realtor's office, the restaurant and lounge that we just passed. And down here on the left is a place called Vintage Elegance. Years ago, it used to be the home of a NASCAR themed shop here in town, where I've got some merchandise in the past. So right over here on the right is the license office, the license bureau, everything like that. And, you know, again, just kind of some local businesses. Coming up on the right side here is the original Belton Fire Station. This is before the one was built over by Wallace Park. And then Central Bank of the Midwest here on the left side. And so yeah, that's Main Street here in Belton. And then there's also a Presbyterian church up here, so that's Main Street for you. So now it's on to Southwick. All right, so I've made my way over to Southwick Stadium, over here at the high school. This is where I played some of my football games my sophomore year of high school. So I'll tell you a little bit of a fun fact about the stadium here. Originally, so my sophomore year of high school was 2009 to 2010 academic year. The original plan for this stadium was to be built and opened to start the season. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of a hiccup, so we didn't start the season playing here. Our first couple of home games that year were at Joe Mauer Stadium at what's currently now the middle school. So our first game here was the 2009 homecoming game. We hosted Raytown that day. And it was quite an experience, so let me tell you a little bit more about it. All right, so fun fact about the stadium here. So you could just, that day we had our first game here, the homecoming game, you could just feel the energy in the air from when we did pregame warm-ups on the field out here that morning, and then we had team breakfast over at Hy-Vee, and just even in the locker room and everything, the whole day you could just feel the energy as we were prepared to fill those grandstands back there. So the stadium, by the way, hosts, the capacity is listed at about 1,000 fans. I'm sure we probably hit close to that in our first game here. And that game was such a fun experience. We pretty much cruised to an easy win that day. And the significance of that day as well is that in those grandstands over there was my Uncle Bob. And it was the school year before, the school year before he passed away. But he did get to come to one of my football games out here. It was the only game he ever got to be at, and the one thing I wish could have been different about that day was in the fourth quarter when the game was well in hand. that the backups would have got the chance to get some reps in that game. People like me and some of the other guys that, if anything, we got a few chances to play, but it would have meant a lot for me to be able to take the field in front of my Uncle Bob's. So but it was a good win, great game, and I remember Dion Lewis had the game of his life that day. Felt like the Raytown defense just couldn't stop him, and scored a couple of touchdowns. And I pretty much knew as soon as he scored that second touchdown, it was pretty much game over. So, but also here on the property here, there's the ticket booth, and the concession stand is just right over here. And back behind me, the building is for the Athletic Hall of Fame, and that's where the home locker room is for the football team. And then this building right behind me here, that is the weight facility. Strength and conditioning takes place there for like off-season workouts and everything. And that's actually where the visiting locker room is as well. So, but yeah, first game here was tremendous, and it was an honor to be able to take the field here at this stadium the year that it opened. And that's something that I'll definitely never forget. And I guess there's just one thing left to do. So thank you for watching today's video, guys, where I took you on a tour of my hometown of Belton, Missouri. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for next month, which is part 2 of the series, Culture and Nature. The Nestle-Atkins Art Museum, the Kaufman Memorial Garden, the Parkville Nature Sanctuary, and Luce Park. So a few different little places here in Kansas City that a couple of them I've been to before, and a couple others that I've never been to before. So this is as much insight for you guys as it is for me at this point. So, so stay tuned for that next month. And until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. Love you all. Have a great day. God bless.